something strange happens. At 2:17 a.m., across the planet, millions of servers suddenly stop responding. Satellites still orbit Earth, but the data stops flowing. Fiber optic cables go silent. Phones lose signal. Messages fail to send. At first, people assume it's just another outage, but within minutes, a terrifying realization spreads across the globe. The internet is gone. Not slow, not broken, gone. Every website, every cloud server, every digital system, disconnected. I am the watcher, and this is what would happen if the internet disappeared tomorrow. At first, most people wouldn't notice. Millions of people are asleep. But night workers, gamers, and late-night phone users begin to see something strange. Pages stop loading. Streaming services fail. Social media feeds freeze. People refresh their apps again and again. Nothing works. Within minutes, confusion begins spreading. Normally, people would post about the outage online. But now, there is nowhere to post. No platforms respond, no servers answer, and nobody understands why. Morning arrives. Millions of people wake up and reach for their phones. No notifications, no emails, no weather updates, no news. Businesses attempt to start their workday. But something is wrong. Office computers cannot connect to company servers. Cloud storage is completely inaccessible. Entire companies depend on internet systems. Without them, work stops instantly. Meanwhile, financial markets prepare to open. But trading platforms cannot connect. Banks cannot verify transactions. Financial systems begin freezing across the world. Now, the scale becomes clear. The internet is not just social media. It powers the modern world. Airlines depend on internet systems for scheduling and navigation. Hospitals rely on connected databases. Shipping companies track cargo through online networks. Without the internet, information stops moving. Flights begin getting delayed. Packages stop being tracked. Businesses lose access to critical data. Suddenly, something terrifying becomes obvious. Modern civilization runs on invisible digital connections, and without them, the world begins to slow down. Now panic begins spreading. Television stations interrupt programming with emergency updates. Governments attempt to understand what has happened. Was it a cyber attack? A solar storm? A massive technical failure? No one knows. People rush to ATMs, but many banking systems cannot verify balances. Credit cards stop working. Digital payments completely fail. Suddenly, cash becomes the only reliable form of money, and many people don't carry it anymore. Stores begin refusing cards. Long lines form outside banks. Fear spreads quickly. After a week, the real consequences appear. Global supply chains rely heavily on internet-based logistics. Shipping companies cannot coordinate deliveries. Ports struggle to track containers. Truck routes become chaotic. Supermarkets begin running out of certain products, not because food disappeared, but because the systems used to move it collapsed. Air travel becomes limited. Many flights are canceled. Communication between countries becomes slower. Even governments struggle to share information. The modern world begins operating like it did decades ago. Slower, less connected, more uncertain. After a month, society begins adapting. Companies try rebuilding internal communication systems. Radio networks become more important again. Satellite communication replaces some lost connections. But rebuilding global digital infrastructure is not easy. Many companies that relied heavily on online services collapse. Entire industries shrink overnight. Streaming platforms disappear. Online gaming vanishes. Social media becomes a silent memory. But something interesting also happens. People begin interacting differently. Neighborhoods communicate face-to-face again. Local communities become more important. Information spreads through television, radio, and newspapers. The world becomes quieter, but also more unpredictable. After 1 year, humanity looks very different. Technology still exists, computers still work, but the massive network that once connected billions of people is gone. Many companies from the internet era disappear completely. New systems slowly begin emerging. Governments and scientists attempt to rebuild global communication networks, but it takes time, possibly years, possibly decades. During that time, the world changes. People adapt. Society evolves. Because humans have survived far worse than losing the internet. But one thing becomes clear. The internet wasn't just technology. It was the nervous system of modern civilization. And when that system stopped working, the entire world felt it instantly. The internet feels permanent, unbreakable. But history has shown us, no system lasts forever. And if the digital web connecting humanity suddenly vanished, the world wouldn't end. But it would never look the same again. I am the Watcher. And until the next scenario, I will be watching.